Okay, so we got our gaskets. So these are the James metal ones. These are about the best ones out there to use. So these have a nice thick rubberized material on the outside that seals up pretty good. It'll fill up a lot of voids and stuff, as opposed to those regular metal ones that have just a flash coat of polymer you can barely even feel. This is thick enough to do something, and it kind of, when it heats up, it moves around and seals up the gaps. It also has all the silicone crap on there, which I don't particularly like, but most times it just squishes out anyway. But it looks good, right? Alright, so these just go slip on, no sealer needed. Just go right on down. Supposed to slide right down. There we go. A little tension. Now these are 5/16 studs all the way down. They're not neck down. These are the heavy duty studs. They're stainless too, which I don't really care about. They also have a ball tip to them, so they assemble up pretty easy. Like we really need speed on this bike. Hopefully they don't hit the damn frame when we get in there. We'll find out. But anyway, these are Vulcan makes these, so they're pretty nice. So now if you want, you can take these and cut this off so that you don't have to look at these things going across here. So that's a, you can either leave them on there or you can take them off. It's up to you. So on this bike here, I'm not sure what he wants to do. If you cut them off, the problem is it'll leave a nice sharp edge right here. So he doesn't look quite as good. We'll see if I'm going to do that. So here's our cover. So looks like it's going to be pretty close to our edge right there. So I'm not sure I was going to get her to clean these boxes off, so I'm thinking this one in here would look a little better if that wasn't there. And how am I going to cut this at a radius right through here? It's going to be kind of hard to do. I could probably clip it straight and straight. Let the box handle it. Where's my clippers at? Alright, so I'm just going to use a pair of dikes here. Not going to get fancy with this. So I'm going to go in straight like that. They're pretty deep, about that far. Clip. Coming from this direction here. Clip. Yeah, cut this out of the box. I didn't want to. There you go. Most of that should be all in the rocker box, I'm hoping, so you won't see that edge. At least that I was trying to do. I don't know how good I did here until after I cut this thing. Okay, I'm going to go back further this time. Boop. There you go. So, does that look cleaner? We'll see. I can also cut this off if I want to, but I don't know about that yet. Let's see what it looks like. All this custom stuff here. The rocker arms fall down, so you gotta be quick putting them on. Yep, I don't want to be that quick. So you flip the box over, or flip the head over, I mean. What the hell am I doing wrong here? There's the problem. Somebody's a dumbass. Front head, rear box, doesn't fit very well. Because I know they go on easier than that. The problem is I just pushed it on kind of hard. So I gotta pull it off. Yep. That. Okay. Be a dumbass this time. Alright. Okay, this time I'm going to do it the correct way. Rear box, rear head. See, we made these fit on there, so when the first clue was a problem. It didn't fit on there. Okay, so we got rid of the ugly gasket there. Now we got the gasket coming across here. Now you're going to notice it back there. It's worth cutting it off. Oh, there's a push rod that goes through here. So you only got just a little bit of that you see. I'm not sure if it's worth doing it or not. For show application, you want that all to be nice and clean in there. Now, here's what you can't do in a regular motor is pull our boxes up like that. So the problem with this, if you cut this stuff, it's going to be razor sharp. So you might not look at it, but when you go to clean it, you'll get yourself. So I think I'm going to leave those in there, because that's going to cut the piss out of you. It's going to overhang. Plus out in here. You know, this one here, you can clear it. I can cut it where it's inside the box, basically. So I think I'm okay. It's right on the edge of it, though. Yeah, you might still catch it a little bit, but yeah, when I can vouch for that one being a little nicer looking. So I think I like that off. But I'm gonna leave these back half on there. Okay, so that goes on there like that. Like I said, these have to fall down. If it takes a minute for them to fall, but if they fall down, then they won't drop down where they're supposed to be. If you're quick, unlike me, which is not happening. I don't know why they won't go. It pulls up evenly. There you go. If you get it just right, it works. Make sure the rock arms are where they belong. And they're not binding on anything, see? Okay, so they're in there. Okay, now these are ready to have hardware put on them. We've got some cap nuts here that we had on the old motor and reuse. Hopefully didn't lose any hardware. So I got these little A and nuts washers on here. Now you got a sharp edge and a radius edge. Put the radius edge up, it looks better. All the detail stuff does matter. Okay, let's see how many washers we got left here. Nuts. 2, 4. Okay, we're missing a washer, so I'm going to have to use the washer here. Yep, there's a washer there, 4. So we're missing 1 washer someplace. 4, I got 8, takes 9. And we're missing 1 nut also, so 1 nut and 1 washer are missing. There's always one to get you. Okay, so if we're going to put a nut and a washer someplace, you're going to put on the back one here, because this one you can't see because the gas tank's around here. So I'm going to leave this one off for a minute. Take that up. We'll use a regular washer, regular nut on that. Now it might be missing because it hits the frame up under here. One of these nuts might have to be gone. And usually it's this one right here. That cannot be here. It's the tightest spot on the bike is this rear one right in the center where the frame rail is. The motor mount's right here, so my guess is that one can't be there. But I won't know that until I put in the frame, which we'll be doing here very shortly. So I'm going to assume that can't be there, so I'm going to put this one on here. Now the other problem I got here, yeah, these aren't going to tighten up anyway. So you can see how this stud sticks way up in here, down in here. This is a low crown nut. It's not as tall as a regular acorn nut. See how it's almost flush with the head here? So this thing will not tighten down. And I don't know if that stud will go in there deeper. So it's going to bottom out in the nut, I know that. So we'll see if it goes down enough to tighten down. Man, that thing went down all the way, it looks like. That's shocking. So if you're in doubt about whether it's going to go down all the way, leave the washer out. And if it goes all the way in, you'll know it. Okay, so you see a little gap right under there right now. I don't know if you can see it or not, but anyway, there's a little bit of a gap, and it's about the thickness of that thin little washer. So this one might not torque in all the way if I use that thin washer. So if I put a thicker washer on there, I definitely know it will. So, or I can use a different nut on there also, we'll do it. We'll find out. So for now we're going to use a regular washer, a regular nut I mean. And this washer and that washer are about the same. Go ahead and torque it down with a little small nut for now. We'll come back and change that out. Hopefully all these other ones don't have a problem. Appear to be alright. Looks good. Alright. Time for some power tools. Alright, everybody's torqued. Looks like the gasket pulled in all the way. All these washers appear to be tight. So I think we're good to go on that one. The rocker arms are still free because they just moved down. So there you go. There's what that one looks like. Now we're going to have to see if this thing's going to be a clearance issue on the motor, on the center bolt, which I'm sure it probably will be. So I'm going to go to a quick check over there, find out. One bike got cold. Get that new cover checked out, see? There we go. That was harder for me to work on it. Okay, so we're just going to go see if it's going to fit up under here. Let's see. Right off the bat, those nuts are not going to clear. I cannot put the motor together with those nuts on there. So we have a clearance issue over here. See, all four of these nuts are digging in heavy on the frame. So all four of those have to come off in order to put it in the bike. And you torque them on after you're in there. Otherwise you have a big sledgehammer and jam it in there, which will screw up a lot of stuff if you do that. So don't do that one. That'd be a bad thing to do. Okay. Go back over here. Take the four nuts off to the problem. There we go. Alright, I'll go back and try it again. One problem leads to another problem. Alright, let's see if it fits this time. Okay, that nut is not going to go. And this one over here, oh, there we go, it dropped in barely. Boy, that is tight. It actually dropped in the hole. Now there's no gasket on here. And that is too close. The other ones will clear. So this nut here cannot be here. It's right up in there, see. The motor grows up a little bit with heat, it's going to be rubbing up on that. This one's got good clearance. That one's okay. And this one here we're okay on. All these other ones we can put these back on. Where are they at? Right there. Just have to get them from the other side under here. Okay, so. Alright, who did that? Somebody moved the cover on me. Alright, so this nut cannot be on here, like I figured. So we have to take that off and do something else. It's got to be just a plain nut. So we'll put a chrome nut up on there. It fell in, but will it come out? There it goes. It's close up under there. Might be able to make it work, but it ain't worth putting it up in there. There's no reason to be forcing the issue. Alright, so we're going to put a chrome nut on that one spot. And all the other ones are going to be, we'll tighten back down here. Call it good. Okay. On my way. I'm going to tighten these back down. Okay. So I need to get a chrome nut for here. I'll have to dig that up. So we'll get that here in a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to work on the other head. Let's see. Goes there. Goes there. And there's the other box. Okay, so I'm going to trim this gasket like I did the last one. I've been abusing these dikes for 40 years. They're still working good. I think these are Proto. Best dikes I've ever bought. All those fancy, expensive ones I got to replace them have all failed. These will just keep going. Okay. So we cut that piece off. Box right there. And one head. Goes. See, it goes on easy. Comes off easy, see, but doesn't like going on. I think it's fighting the gasket. Yep. So we bent all the studs to fit. It took a while to do it, but they all fit on there like they're supposed to. Okay, so now these all get regular nuts on here because these are all clear. Except for that one right there again, it's going to be tall. So we're going to run the, we have to do a double washer or something there to make that not contact correctly. So I'm going to put a cap nut on there, but I'm going to have to, so I think we just do a double washer, which I'll have to go get. So part of doing the job. Next problem is you got to put the motor mount over here. See how close we are over this nut. So we might have to, we definitely have to pull this nut off to get to this. Sometimes you've got to push the shaft out a little bit. Got to be careful doing that though. But you can do it, just got to be careful. Okay, there's a little washer in there. Just making a run for it, trying to get away. Okay, so there's all those. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so now there's going to be a couple different nuts. We'll be back. Okay, we're back. Okay, I got the nuts. I put 2 washers in a nut here, so it pulled down. Did on both, and then I took the nut off over here, and I put a standard chrome nut on there and a chrome washer to go with it. So that should take care of that problem. Well, these are ready to go onto the bike, basically. Do a mock-up over there. People want me to use torque wrenches for some reason because I think my tools aren't working, but let's see how my zip gun went. Oh, it was tight. Yep. So it appears my zip gun is tighter than what the torque is supposed to be for Harley recommended torque. Of course, I run my stuff tighter than that one was slightly lower. This one is tighter. There it goes. So there you go. I'm probably within about 2 foot-pounds of what they're supposed to be. That one just barely moved. Yep, pretty close. So, if you know what your tools are, you don't need to use these. And that wrench is set on the high side of recommended torques, not on the low side. I think it's about 24 foot-pounds or so, but I don't remember exactly. Okay, so his gaskets are right there in the middle. Okay, so that gasket shouldn't be too visible on the inside, unless you're with a magnifying glass looking in there. So I don't think we're using that. Okay, so let's go put these on the chassis of it and see what they look like. Now, I don't know if we got any head gaskets for this motor yet, so probably not. So I'm not going to worry about the gaskets for now anyway. We're just going to do a quick mock-up. Maybe those are the missing gaskets. Yeah, there's the gaskets I couldn't find. They're right there. And my little head gaskets. Thought I had pulled some out for them already. Yep. So there's the base gaskets we didn't use. There's the head gaskets we were going to use, and there's the rocker box we didn't use. Yeah. So 1 out of the 3 ain't bad for stuff we're going to use. So. I'm pretty sure there's gaskets under here already. Yep, I can see them sitting in there. You know, I quit using the blue James gaskets. They blow out. They lose torque and they blow out too much. So these are Cometic MLS gaskets. So they're big bore. It's the only gasket out there that really seems to hold up these applications. So, but that's about the only Cometic gasket I like, because almost all the other gaskets suck. They make the holes way too big, they fit loose, they slide over and they leak. So I don't like them, but I like these. I like the James ones better because these fit the holes tighter. I like this style material better, and it just works. Now this is the old metal one here. They've went to a format material now instead of these metal ones, but they both work. Okay, so there's your MLS gasket. That's multi-layer steel. Even though they're made out of stainless steel, that's close enough. And this one looks like aluminum in the middle. So these are embossed here to make them seal better. It's supposed to give them like a little bit of a springing effect. That's why they're supposed to work. The biggest thing is heat doesn't burn them out. As long as your surfaces are nice and smooth, they work. If your smooths aren't very smooth, they don't work. So you have to figure out where your oil hole is. That's why you know which way these go in. So the oil hole is over on this one. Let's see, 50-50 chance of being wrong. Or that's 100% chance of being wrong. 50% chance of being right. Okay, that one goes like that. The other problem you got to make sure is that the rivet does not hit on the base gasket, because then it won't torque. So it looks like this one might fit all right. It's going to be close. I think it'll just fit. All right. So we'll try one head on and see how it looks. So, crap's in the way right here. There we go. So that'll fit on there just like that. You can almost see it. We'll get the other one. Alright, here's the other head. Alright, put this gasket on the correct direction. Where's the oil hole at? It's over there. And yep, looks like I did that one the correct way. And the fun part is getting this one in there. Okay, so that is now out of the way, so it should go on a little easier. Oh, but I put these rocker box nuts back on here, so I can't put them on very easily. Because you can't put this head on there with those on there, see? It doesn't fit. Keep forgetting that. So I'm going to leave this head off because I don't want to take these on and off 15 times. So I'm going to leave it off. So we're going to leave it like this. We'll come back in a few days and we'll bolt this thing together. So anyway, that's what it's going to look like for now. So I can get the intake manifold, the clamps, could get all the oil line stuff figured out. This is the tube style line. I think that's what he decided to go with. There's also the stainless steel hose option. We got to find his motor mount, and we got to make sure all this stuff all lines up and fits up in there correctly. So we'll be playing with that next. Got to get everything all lined out. Everything has to be lined out to make sure it fits. And here's a clamp I couldn't find that I knew we had. It goes right there. He's probably want to have that chromed. We'll find out. That keeps all the oil lines up under here, tucked in. So after we get the motor back together here, we work on the back here, we'll get all this oil tank stuff all bolted in for real. We made this bracket up the last time we were here playing. I don't know if that made video or not. I had to rebend the whole thing to make it fit. I had to flatten these bends out. So, I don't remember if I got filmed or not. I can't remember. We do a lot of work off video on this bike. Right now we got the front fender up under here, which did not video. We have to load up some hardware here because it hits the tire right up behind here. So we'll have to play around with that a little bit. So, alright, that's it for this one for tonight. We'll work on this in a few days.